Now cutting the circle into the foam once the glue has dried. John's got some hash marks he made from the template, which is laying over here now. And he's just going around that outer edge. And sorry about the focal problems. But he's just going to go around the outer edge, and then he's going to cut out the little V in the back here where the elevons are. So this nut ball is going to be 1 yard in diameter. That's 3 feet in diameter, if anyone's wondering. So here it is all cut out. And next we're working on cutting out the vertical stabilizer. And then, of course, the power pod landing skid thing will be next. And we got some black duct tape around on the edges. Nothing fancy. And of course the elevons are also. So John is now sketching out the template for the dome and the rudder. Actually just tracing around the template for the dome rudder section, and then he's going to cut that out.
Alright, so we got the vertical stabilizer on it now. There we go. Got some struts holding it to make sure it doesn't tilt too much. And it's all glued down with hot melt. And then we got a motor mount over here. And the motor mount is glued on pretty much every which way. Has some struts here, some glue on the bottom. Yeah. So that's that much. Next I'll be working on the part that goes underneath for the skids. Because it's just flat under there right now, and it might not be very good.
Tell about it.
So this is the UNF&B in the works. We got some new spars on it this time. So we got one spar going across here to keep it from bending this way. At least, hopefully. And we got one going from here to tail. And it is basically just one of those, this one here is just one of those arrows. Carbon fiber arrows taken apart. I left a metal nose on it though, so that it could be sturdy, wouldn't crush. And this one here is just a carbon fiber, regular carbon fiber rod. But this one actually goes through this motor mount block here. There's a little hole on it there, actually a pretty big hole, but there's a hole on it there, and it goes through that. And then it goes down here and is glued to this spar here. And it's glued to this whole vertical stabilizer here at the bottom, right there. And then, of course, before that, we had a paint job done to it, and some letters stuck on. We haven't painted the bottom, though, but there's a good reason for that. We don't want to paint it until we're absolutely sure it flies, and also we don't want to paint it until we absolutely got it finished. So, we're drilling some holes for some screws for the motor. That was the last one. And we're going to use these screws right here. They're 4 3/4. 4-3/4 rather say. And yeah, we're going to need a screwdriver, aren't we?
Yeah, but you don't have to film that part.
Okay, so we're going to screw this motor down, and then we'll hook it up.
Okay, what do we got now?
So we got these servos mounted for elevons and rudder.
Yeah.
And we got these little hickeys here to allow us to adjust them.
These hickeys?
Yeah. Whatever you call them.
Yeah, hickeys, that's it.
And the control rods with the Z-bend.
Which
we drill some of the holes out, but still.
And you used our special Z-bend tool.
Yeah. I'll just go get that and show it.
Okay, I'll tell them about the Hobby King Orange RX 3-axis flight stabilizer that we put on here. And this is version 3, and it has the built-in receiver. And we've got the switch, which you really can't see, it's so small. But we reversed the switch for the Delta mode, so the Delta mode is on. And the gyro on-off switch is also reversed, so we can control it with AUX 1, which is our flap switch. And even though we have it in Delta mode, the rudder still works, so we can use the rudder stick. So, okay, go ahead. So we got our Z-bend tool here.
Yeah, this is our Z-bend tool.
That thing looks dangerous. That's like a Z-bendosaur.
Bonk.
Okay, and then down here we have a 40 amp ESC, and I don't even in this motor from Bev RC, which is what goes on the Skywalker, and it doesn't even have any nomenclature on there, but yeah, we have to do a thrust test.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the BEC and this ESC we found out is a 40 amp SBEC. No, not 40 amp, but 4 amp SBEC. It's
Okay.
at 4 amp. So
Pretty
we
good.
actually got a little extra power, and we're gonna run the 5-volt line for our lights off that same BEC
For the controller, right?
for the light controller.
For the light controller. But the lights will be on another battery.
The lights themselves need 12 volts, so yeah, they'll be on a different battery.
Okay. All right. All right, so that's where we are right now. Might have to do a thrust test. Getting ready for a thrust test here. I tell you, that battery goes in very solid. XT60 connectors, very solid. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a thrust test. Just holding it here. Let me get the light here.
Duck before the prop comes off. Nah, just kidding.
Okay, everybody duck. Hey, it's holding itself. Okay, there you go. I just did 3D.
Woohoo!
Okay, now let's get this battery unplugged before anything bad happens.
No kidding.
We don't want to do no prop launches. Watch the
We don't want to
tail.
have a propeller popper, do we?
And you see, it's hard to get these XT60s apart. But there we go. So there is.
The UNFNB.
Yep.
Now we just have to. The last thing we have to do is figure out the center of gravity and mount it in the box, the battery that is.
That's right. And we figure the center of gravity is about an inch in front of this wing spar. Right here.
Yeah.
Somewhere right in there. And then we'll have to do a flight test before we put any lights on it. Just to
Yeah.
make sure it'll even fly.
Yeah.